Alright, so you probably understand by now from watching all the trailers and the movie and reading the opening crawl from The Force Awakens and the fact that Kylo actually says it in the new film that Luke Skywalker is probably the last Jedi. I mean, a lot of evidence points towards this, the fact that the Jedi have pretty much been on the verge of extinction ever since Uncle Palps' Order 66, then old Kenobi died, along with Yoda, leaving Luke as the last Jedi alive. But is Luke the character the title of the new film, The Last Jedi, is referring to? Could there be another Last Jedi amongst the characters of the new film? Or perhaps a new character altogether? I mean, we thought the Sith were gone for good, and then someone just decided to create this Snoke fellow, but apparently he's not a Sith, or he's something else, I don't know. Or perhaps the title, The Last Jedi, isn't even referring to a single character, but perhaps something more, a metaphor, an entity, a symbol of what the Jedi represent. Who knows? But anyway, what this video is going to do is analyze different reasons and evidence for why certain characters or things could be The Last Jedi. Hey everyone, it's Andrew. When I think of The Last Jedi after watching The Last Jedi, the first character that comes to mind is Porg. Porg is The Last Jedi. Just a heads up, this video will probably have spoilers for The Last Jedi, so if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it right now, then immediately return to watching this video, obviously. Okay, just think about this with me for a second. Think about what Porg does for this film. First of all, the Porg lived on Ahch-To, or I don't know how you pronounce it. This is the birthplace of the Jedi Order, where the Jedi started, the location of the first Jedi Temple, and the reason why Luke Skywalker went into exile on this planet. So the Porg live here where the whole idea of the Jedi was literally founded. So yes, perhaps the Porg are also the first Jedi. Perhaps they founded the Jedi Order. But even if that's not the case, they spent years living with Luke Skywalker, who most likely trained them in the ways of the Force. Now let's think more about the characteristics of the Porg for a second. Their main feature, if we're all being honest, is their cuteness. This is where they have their power. It's in their big wet eyes, in their expression. Luke was most likely shocked by these incredible powers and realized they had a way with the Force he had never witnessed before. Their midi-chlorian count was so high they could use their cute, harmless appearance to infiltrate the lives of anyone they desired and manipulate the Force to their will. So once Rey and Chewie arrived on Ahch-To, off they went to liberate the galaxy. But not only did the Porg inhabit and influence the Star Wars galaxy, the Porg have helped Disney sell thousands of cute toys in their quest for world domination. The Porg is Disney's secret weapon. They are using their Force powers as the Last Jedi to spread throughout the entire world. And also, if you look it up, a group of Porg is called a murder, similar to a murder of crows. And what do the Jedi do? Keep peace and justice in the galaxy, right?
We're keepers of the peace, not soldiers.
And how do they do that? Murder. Case closed. Okay, next up, this is why Finn could potentially be the Last Jedi. First, in The Force Awakens, in the Starkiller Base forest. Now, I want you to remember where Finn came from. He was a First Order stormtrooper who defected to the Resistance. So he has obviously most definitely never held or used a lightsaber before. He was a trained stormtrooper, meaning he is incredibly clumsy, inaccurate with a blaster, pretty much useless on his own, and once again, has definitely never ever held a lightsaber before. So, in The Force Awakens, he had that little taste of power and practice against the traitor trooper. I mean, yeah, he did alright, Stormtrooper v Stormtrooper, lightsaber versus big ass taser thingy, but then he faces off against Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren, the son of Princess Leia and Han Solo, the nephew of Luke Skywalker, the grandson of Anakin Skywalker, the great-grandson of Shmi Skywalker, who Emperor Palpatine impregnated through the Force. Somehow. And he didn't die. He held his own against Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren! Finn is the Last Jedi.
Ow! Hey, what you to me?
Apart from the fact that he did literally nothing that contributed to the plot in The Last Jedi, I mean, he was just there. His whole existence in the film was inconsequential, and that whole 30-minute segment where he and Rose tried to save the Resistance just failed miserably, which I thought was kind of a shame considering his obvious extreme Force powers, but I guess that's what a change in writing staff does to a Force user. Next, this is the one I think is the most likely of all of them to be true. BB-8. Alright, reasons why BB-8 is The Last Jedi. First of all, BB-8 has the Force. In the opening battle of The Last Jedi, Poe Dameron's X-Wing gets all shot up during the attack on the First Order Dreadnought, and then BB-8 magically fixes it. Okay, yes, sure, you'll tell me R2-D2 fixes Luke's X-Wing during the Battle of Yavin, but Luke's was only partially damaged, like he still had a few working engines, you know, it was just like a graze. He still had most things working. Poe's entire X-Wing shuts down after being severely damaged in this opening sequence from The Last Jedi. Then BB-8 just magically zaps it, and suddenly everything's fixed.
Ow! Hey, what you to me?
You know how he just magically brought it back to life? Because he has the Force. Similar to how Force user Anakin was really good at fixing things, like his pod racer. The same goes for Rey, naturally talented at the Force and fixing things. Okay, other reasons: BB-8 befriends the codebreaker DJ on Canto Bight because he knew he'd have to help Finn and Rose get the heck out of there and off that planet because obviously they can't take care of themselves, and because he knew DJ could help infiltrate Snoke's ship. So obviously he could sense what was going to happen using the Force. And then later in the movie, when Finn fights Phasma, BB-8 suddenly knows how to drive an AT-ST and saves the day again. But you know how he knows how to drive the ST? Because he has the Force and is a fast learner, like Rey, like Anakin, like all other powerful Force users. Alright, I guess I could talk about Rey and why she could be the Last Jedi. Here are the reasons. So she has the Force all of a sudden, and she's really good at it all of a sudden. She can mind trick, she can grab stuff, she can use a lightsaber and suddenly fight highly skilled and trained Force users, and she's good at fixing stuff. Also, she was drawn to Luke and Anakin's lightsaber and had this trippy psychedelic vision. Also, she trained with Luke for a while in The Last Jedi and probably learned a few things about the Force. So yeah, I guess there are some reasons for Rey also being the Last Jedi, but you know. Okay, Snoke! Here's my evidence for why he could be the Last Jedi. Okay, so still for some strange unknown reason that no one can seem to understand, nobody knows who the hell he is or where he came from. You know why it's a mystery? Because also he has the Force. That's a pretty strong reason right there. And he tried to recruit Rey in a secret plan to probably create the new Jedi Order along with Kylo. Maybe he's not actually evil, but is just pretending so he can get power, so he can gain followers who have the Force and are a little misled and seeking help. Then he'll throw everything over and reveal he is the Last Jedi. I mean, there are some far more insane theories out there, like that one about Jar Jar being the Sith Lord. Reasons why Kylo Ren or Ben Solo is the Last Jedi. There is good in him. His father had it, his mother had it, his grandfather had it, his uncle has it, and he has the Force. And he is conflicted like Luke and Anakin were. And he has a lot of Jedi blood in him. Okay, hold on a minute. I want to talk about this photo. I mean, who even did this? I mean, look at how good that color grade is. Well done, I guess. Okay. And it's very possible he'll turn back to the light eventually, sometime in episode 9 or 12 or... Wait, how many are they making again? Alright everyone, but now, here is where I blow your mind. What if we've all been looking at this wrong altogether? What if the phrase "the Last Jedi" was not any single person? It's not a single person, but rather a group of Jedi. Remember, Jedi is the plural for Jedi. And if you're saying Jedis, you're wrong. So what if the Last Jedi is all of these characters? They are all the Last Jedi. What if the Last Jedi is a concept rather than a character? a symbol of what the Jedi once represented, their ideals and legacy. The Last Jedi is everyone and everything. It surrounds us and penetrates us. It binds the galaxy together. What if the Last Jedi is, yeah, I know, I'm probably completely wrong, and it's this guy or something.
Stay bombastic.